Of all the challenge runs that I have done in the original Resident Evil 4, by far the most popular one was beating the game without opening the inventory. It required a completely unique skill set in the game that I had never used before, and a definite mastery over the game's mechanics, and an intimate knowledge of every routing decision that can be made in the game. With Resident Evil 4's remake being such a faithful adaptation of the 2005 classic, I of course wanted to try out the challenge runs that I've done in the original, starting with New Game No Merchant, Zero Shot, and of course, speedruns. With challenge runs like these, you're really pushing this game to its limits and figuring out just how much you can get away with. Now, it's finally time to see if this game can stand up to the scrutiny of beating it without opening the inventory on the professional difficulty. So, can you beat Resident Evil 4 Remake without opening your inventory? No! This remake sucks! Okay, here are the rules. I must beat the game on the professional difficulty without opening the tab menu ever. So I can't see my inventory, rearrange it, heal from it, craft treasures, or craft ammo. If I accidentally open my inventory because I ran out of space, then I must reload to a previous save. This includes when buying things from the merchant as well. This is so that I can't cheese it, and I'd have to be very careful when picking up items. With the ground rules set, let's see what kind of fresh hell this will be. Right at the start, there's some extremely important routing that's going to happen. The quick swap weapon wheel has 4 slots that auto-fill, meaning you don't have to go into the inventory and manually equip them to use weapons in these slots. The problem is some items can never leave an equip slot once they're equipped, and only the first 4 auto-equip, meaning if you fill all 4 slots with the wrong weapons, you can be stuck with them forever. Okay, so earliest strategy, I'm not gonna pick up any grenades. For example, grenades and flashes never go away, even if you completely run out of them. It'll just take up that slot forever, unless you manually equip something else into that slot, like a different weapon, which we can't do in this challenge. Because of this, I had some hard choices to make. Would it be worth it to waste a slot on flashes or grenades in early game, and potentially not be able to use that slot for weapons in later game? I figured at first, no. But in order to beat the first village, I had to either kill 15 enemies or wait out a super long timer. And on pro mode with the enemies basically never stunning, waiting out seemed nigh impossible. If you accidentally do that. Oh my god, okay. Grab after grab, I died over and over again in this section. I just could not do it. God damn it, this first village section is gonna fucking suck. God damn it! It makes no fucking sense. That was mostly because I had to do as close to no damage as possible. That is because there's actually no way to heal in this game without opening the inventory. So this health I had right here was it. Oh my god, you're fucking kidding me? I would not get any more for the rest of the game. If the very first hard section brought me down to half, I'd have to play the rest of the game with half HP. That was unacceptable, but neither was being stuck here forever. So I decided to forego a quick switch slot for a grenade. My thought process was that the goat head room later needed a grenade, and I was wanting to do that skip, so I needed to have one eventually. Now, just to get past this section, it might be worth it. Also, like, I'll be able to do some of the skips later on with a grenade. And the earlier I grab it, the more I can stockpile. But since grenades don't clear that slot ever, this 4th slot will forever be grenades. I don't pick up the flash though. I don't think that was worth it. I did pick up the shotgun, and that with tandem of the grenades was easy to get 15 kills. The shotgun is totally fine to pick up because I can sell it to the merchant later without ever seeing my inventory, and that slot will autofill with a new weapon. Nearly an hour and a half later, we finally finished it. To be fair, I did try to wait it out for about 50 minutes, but this still took an insane amount of time. Finally, we did it! First try! I managed to complete it without taking any damage. This was definitely foreshadowing for what would come. This was gonna be a long playthrough. Easy peasy. This length would be even more padded as I went around grabbing every single treasure I could find and also doing the merchant requests. This is because I was going to be at a huge money deficit because I wasn't able to craft any of the treasures. I had to sell every single treasure individually, reducing the amount they sell for by a lot. This would help me greatly when buying an exclusive upgrade ticket early on in Castle and my upgrades for my normal weapons. But because Pro has no checkpoints, I had to do it while taking no damage, from save station to save station. So I could play for nearly 10 minutes, collect everything, and not get hit. But if others chased me across the planet to bonk me while I'm pushing a cart, then oops, I guess I gotta redo the whole level. No! Others, swing right now! No! We could just say that I was suckling on the teat of whatever RNG this game would give me. Most areas I'd have to grind out random encounters to be able to beat it without getting hit. Oh my god! Okay, this is fine. This is when we'd start chapter 2. And wait a second, son of a bitch!
They took my gear.
No, the run's over. Fuck, dude. Oh, well. All right, see you guys next stream. Different challenge. Okay, run invalid. But besides this point, can you beat Resident Evil Remake without opening your inventory? Wait, shit. No, not again. Oh no, invalid. Man, I hate Capcom sometimes. Actually, I tried to skip the second part where you recollect your stuff and just move on so you didn't have to see that inventory screen, but unfortunately you can't, as the merchant never unlocks the door unless you do. Regardless of this door blocking shenanigans, the merchant is my true saving grace in this run. While I can't equip weapons from my inventory, if I buy new weapons and I have an open save slot, it'll autofill that weapon into the empty slot, allowing me to use it. Unfortunately, buying weapons for the merchant is no easy task in this run, as I need enough inventory space for the gun to go cleanly into my inventory without having to adjust anything. Or this will happen. Yeah, it did, because the knives are all fucked up. And when it does, I need to reload a save. I cleared my inventory of all the crafting items, but I can't buy the sniper because my inventory is cluttered with extra knives. So I decide to wait for later when I can get an even bigger case for cheaper. Yeah, I don't think I need the rifle right now. I think I'll just wait. Surely I would be fine without it, even in the Red Mist Village. Surely I wouldn't get my ass blasted harder than a femboy on a Friday. Surely. Ah! Oh. Who threw the dynamite? These stream sniping Ganados are really getting on my nerves. This is the downside of making content for you fine folks. The undesirables get to watch it too. Ugly ass Ganados must have preloaded the video at 160p, but it was good enough to know where I was gonna end up apparently. This section took so long that even when I got back grabbed and took some damage, I continued and actually beat the room. So I decided to say, fuck it, I'm just gonna keep going. This is fine. I can take that damage, it's fine. I have been told that at the end of every chapter, you heal a little bit. But this would turn out to only be true if you're in red HP. Either way, 2 hours and only a bit of chip damage should be fine. The early game would be some of the hardest parts of the game due to the game's immaculate balancing and the fact that regular Granados with no weapon are legit the most dangerous enemies in the entire game because they grab you more than a Marthmain. Not taking any risks, fuck you, bitch. Once finally on chapter 3, things start to mellow out, until we get to the dogs. Dogs in Resident Evil games are notoriously completely free. As in, they've never killed anyone ever. But lo and behold, the RE4 remake, after like 700 RE games, has finally managed to make them difficult. The dogs in this game are brutal. I couldn't just run past them like that. Fuck. I needed to get out my speedrunner mindset and start playing slow and passive like a baby. Psych! I went back, got the sniper rifle, and I could just blast these fools before they even move. I'm not gonna play it slow. That's boring. I then upgraded my sniper to almost full firepower, so it's now essentially my pocket rocket. After many resets, I get the oil without taking damage, then take on Del Lago. After I fail the one cycle, I take him down and head into chapter 4. Or I would have, but the game soft locked and then subsequently crashed, so I had to do the fight twice. Good game. In the 4th chapter, there is a bunch of stuff that I can collect that's all optional. I grabbed the red 9 and the golden egg. I could use the red 9, but it's really up for debate. As there's only 3 slots left, I could use them for almost anything. But what would be the best pistol to use? I don't know. Normally, I'd use the starting pistol because it gets the laser sight, and I fucking hate Bloom. But because I can't equip in the inventory, I can't even use the laser sight. Even worse though, you can't use the stock for the red 9 either. Able to get an exclusive ticket so early and with the sniper already maxed out on power, I figured it would be best to use the exclusive ticket on the default pistol for the insane critical hit chance. That way the pistol would be really good even if I never upgraded it besides that. And I could just use the rest of my money on upgrading the sniper rifle. Because the inventory was small, I wanted to grab the Lunker Bass, and I had to make many trips back and forth not to fill my inventory on accident while grabbing it. I even decided to go back to the snake farm to get the medallions and treasures that I had missed there while there was no enemies at this part. When trying to get the last medallion though, I accidentally triggered El Gigante's fight, and I haven't saved yet. Of course. So when I realized I didn't have all the upgrades I wanted for the fight and I got hit, of course, I had to do it all over again, all the collecting from the snake farm. Fun. God damn it, dude. I'm loving this no damage aspect, if you couldn't tell. The strategy for the actual boss is very simple. Just unload on his face until he pops a Plaga, then shoot the Plaga, stun with a grenade, then repeat. He should die. The hard part is preparing ahead of time and hitting the shots. You need max firepower and 2 capacity upgrades, as well as a reload speed upgrade to make this cycle. Once past Gigante, I save Ashley and we do a little speedrun skip. Instead of Ashley being a huge liability in the run from the church to the cabin, you can stick Leon's hitbox inside the wall by crouching or aiming and then going against it. Then you can jump down the ladder. This puts you through the wall and the floor, landing you back in bounds at the bottom of the church. This skips Ashley entirely. Only if we had a skip like this for the whole game. She teleports back to you after you beat the cabin, but in the meantime, it's Saturday and Saturdays are for the boys. Speaking of the boys, it's time for the comment of the day. Please leave a comment with a question or comment that you want me to respond to in my video, and I'll pick one from this video and put it in the next. This one comes from my last video where I beat RE4 Remake in under 2 hours. This one comes from The Forbidden Word, who says, "Hello, I have a question that might have been asked a lot, but now since RE4 Remake is out and being deconstructed for speedruns, does that mean that you're done with speedrunning OG RE4? Also, which game do you prefer since you have had time to run both games and get that 2-hour mark? Keep up the good work and amazing vids." Well, first off, thank you so much. And second, this is a really interesting question because I really can't say. I was pretty much done with speedrunning OG RE4 years ago, at least actual competitive speedruns. I have 2,200 hours in original RE4. Most of that is from speedrunning. And I must say, OG RE4 really isn't my type of speedrun. There isn't enough going on in the moment to moment for me to really dedicate any more time to it. It was the first game I really dedicated a lot of time to getting good at and, you know, speedrunning. But having ran so many other types of games and speedruns since then, I've found my taste to be much more high octane. Stuff like Doom Eternal or Left 4 Dead. I since have been doing pretty much exclusively meme runs or no reset runs for content, which I find to be very fun. It's a classic and a staple of my content, so is it going away forever? Definitely not. But I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't speedrun it competitively for a couple more years. RE4 Remake, on the other hand, is a really fun new thing to explore and compete with right now. With the ever-changing nature of the game's early speedrun development, who knows how fun the run will be in a few months' time. But I definitely plan to be competitive in this one as well as grind out a ton of content for it. At least until Counter-Strike 2 comes out. As far as which I prefer, definitely the OG, but only slightly. Why? Well, that's for another video. Thanks so much for the interesting comment, and make sure to leave another so I can respond to that one in the next video. Once I arrive at cabin, it's go time. I have a fully upgraded sniper and I am ready for this cabin. I know exactly how to do it, having done so much research in the past few weeks. Basically, the cabin breaks down like this. The first wave requires 7 enemy kills. After that, enemies will start spawning in boards for the windows. After boarding in all 3 windows, the second wave spawns on the cutscene. Then, after killing 5 more, udders will break through the window, and killing udders will end the cabin instantly. With these upgrades, you can kill udders in only 5 headshots. I got back grabbed once again, but I clutched it out and did it first try, so I just took it. Ah! I am fucking clutch! Then I upgraded my shotgun to the riot gun, and it turns out if you sell the weapon, it clears the slot, and buying a new one puts it in the new slot automatically. By doing this, I could equip new weapons as long as I had the inventory space. The next major hurdle was the Bella Sisters. I would die many times here, primarily because I couldn't equip a flash grenade to cover me while doing the crank. Don't grab me, please. I didn't get grabbed. I YOLO'd it a few times, but it was always going to fail. Though, maybe if I could get really lucky, the sister would just miss the chainsaw enough to let me open the door. This was not correct, though, unfortunately. I decided to kill the first sister and run all the way back to the beginning of the room to reset their spawns. I could save, then reload, resetting the spawns, and retry without having to kill the second sister again. Then I just cleared some enemies and was able to beat the sister to the door, opening it before she got there. She forgot to wake up. We're good. I then ran with Ashley to the Mendez boss fight and promptly skipped it by asking the merchant very nicely to push me through the wall. It's like that Homer Simpson meme where he slides into the bushes, but with Leon and through a solid wall. I made it to castle at 4.5 hours. Not bad. In early castle, I would need to clear out the entirety of the cannon area. This is so I could do the room safely and be able to grab all the medallions at the end. At this point in the game, I had the default pistol, the riot gun, and the bolt-action rifle. It seemed unlikely that I would change my loadout for the rest of the game. Because I can't open the inventory to equip the scope, even though I have the rifle, I can't do most of the door clips in this run. So that means I couldn't skip the Garrador encounter. You can do some double door skips by crouching backwards into it and flicking around. This is known as the console version of the skip. But this door seems like it's too thick to be able to do it, or at least I couldn't replicate it. The Garrador is no problem, but man, I hate puzzles. This shit's so boring. What's not boring, however, is Waterhall. Anything but, actually. Doing this room without taking damage was going to be hell. I killed the archers, then remade my save. Then I grabbed the crank from the basement and made my way back to the typewriter. The enemies would follow me through the door, so I could then kill them one at a time. After killing a few, I could then save on the typewriter, making them stay dead forever. Then I sniped all of the archers and cranked the lever for the second floor. The second phase would also be very difficult, defending Ashley while she cranks while at the same time fighting your own enemies, and if you take any damage at all, you must reset the room. I ended up routing a few collateral shots to buy myself some more time to kill my own enemies. Even then though, it wasn't enough, so I had to go back to the merchant and then sell and rebuy the riot gun. This would give me 7 bullets for the riot gun instead of 2, but at the cost of 22,000 bucks. Worth it though, as literally the next try I would beat the second phase of Waterhall. It even looked sick, like a COD 4 montage with all these collaterals and no scopes. By this point, I could finally get that exclusive ticket, and this would be a game changer. I used it on the default pistol so I could get that 5 times increased critical hit chance. The crit machine that would save my ass countless times in this playthrough. Crits instant killed most enemies, even dogs, which would come in handy in the maze. Normal shots were not worth much since the gun wasn't upgraded, but if it crit, boom, instant kill. This is when I would use that grenade to skip the goat head room. By nading the lever guy as he spawns, you can skip him from ever putting the bridge down, and skipping most of this room. This alone was worth doing it and losing a gun slot. Without this skip, the room would be insanely hard to no damage. I had basically no ammo for the knights, so it was a tight squeeze. I even had to line up a few collaterals. Well, I didn't have to, but that was sick as fuck, okay? Ashley, you dumb bitch. Oh, my collaterals are sick nasty. After the Ashley section, we arrive at the Novistadors, and this section was pure pain. While not as bad as the original Novis, these bad boys are tanky, and they don't make much sound when sneaking about. They can easily catch you off guard and hit you with a fast swipe or a command grab. Any bit of damage spelled ultimate doom. I just shot you, sir. This is why after killing a few of the flying bastards, I would backtrack to the save station and make a save. So if I got hit, I didn't have to kill the whole room over again. All right, time to go save my progress. I killed like 5 enemies. Time to save scum. Rinse and repeat until I got to the merchant backtrack door from chapter 12. This door has a typewriter on the other side of it, but it's a one-way lock. It's supposed to let you backtrack from chapter 12 to get extra treasures and stuff, but you can actually just sniper clip through it. Unfortunately, since you're in the wrong chapter, the Salazar boss will soft lock if you go too far. But I could at least use the typewriter here to save a bunch of time between going through saves. I used the console version of the sniper door clip to do this. By crouching and walking backwards, then stopping and turning around while mashing the interact button, I can clip to the door, unlocking it from the other side. This helped a ton, because not only is the Novi's section without a save station, but also the double Garrador room following this section also didn't have a save. This part was going to be tricky. Lots of additional enemies and 2 Garradors. I wasn't sure the best method to do this room, so I triggered the Garradors and let them kill most of the ads themselves. It was a brutal as hell room, until I realized that they died in 3 sniper shots to the Plaga. With the exclusive 2 times damage and the fully upgraded damage with the 3 times damage for weak points, it did massive damage, and it made this room cake. Yo, they die in 2 hits? Oh, so I was trolling. I thought that I was going to take way more than that. From here, I would do a small out of bounds to grab the crown, skipping the water Novis. This is good because I suck at killing them before they can hit me, and this eliminates any chance of that happening. Especially since there is, again, no save station after Garradors. For Verdugo, I decided it's best to wait him out. After triggering the elevator start, I just have to wait for 4 minutes without getting hit by Verdugo. Sounds simple, and in some ways, it is. Well, except for the final run to the elevator. I could bait his attacks around the corner all day, at least if he doesn't hit me through 5 feet of clean wall. You get hit while running to the elevator, it's gonna be so bad. What the fuck, dude? He hit me through the wall, that was so cool. But at the end, I have to make a mad dash to the end, and I got hit so many times doing this. I spent a whole fucking hour on this section because I kept getting memed through walls or hit while running away. Fuck, dude. But eventually, I did it with only minor damage taken. Fuck you, bitch. At this point, I was down to half HP, but I had armor. I should be able to take at least one hit from most enemies. Not chainsaw ladies, though. And, I first tried the double giants, stunning the first one with the rifle, then dunking them both with the help of Sancho. Then, after some good old Donkey Kong country, we arrive at Krauser, where I upgrade my knife and have to do the fight once again without taking any damage, and with only perfect parries because it's pro. I managed to beat him after about 40 minutes or so, but I got hit into 0 HP. Of course I beat him when I get hit. I continued just to practice, but when I beat him and loaded into the next chapter, my health regenerated back to basically where it was before I got hit. Oh, it did heal me. At this point, I decided it wasn't worth it to redo the fight just for the smidgen more health, so I just continued. Apparently, even on pro, you can regenerate some HP at the start of every chapter if you have none left. This would be very useful, just because even one extra hit would be huge for increasing the probability of getting through a section, making the run a lot faster. The elevator would be my own little bit of hell, especially since I was running really dry on ammo. I even made a save right before 3 crates so I could reload the save over and over again until I got sniper or shotgun ammo. Then I collected everything and used the Donkey Kong lever to kill all the remaining enemies and collect their stuff. From there, I pulled the lever and then immediately started the lift. This instantly kills the red zealot, making the lift first half a lot easier. After this, I was basically all out of ammo and quickly approaching the Salazar boss fight. I did grab the egg from Akbasup's island, but I couldn't use it because it doesn't auto-equip. You have to manually equip the egg from the inventory. I only grabbed it so I could sell it for the spinels and the merchant request. I was planning on grabbing the broken butterfly and using that for the boss fight, but I decided to just make a save and then try it with the sniper rifle first, just to see how it would go. I would not be needing a second attempt though. Okay. Not bad, honestly. After just about 11 hours, I made it to the island. I use a new, more consistent strategy to get past the first turret room. By throwing a grenade at the archer, I knock him into the turret, drawing its fire while I run past. I get caught by it still and lose my armor, but that's fine. It only took me about 20 minutes to do it too. Once I got to the regenerators, I had a modern problem, and modern problems require modern solutions. I can't equip the thermal scope to be able to see the Plagas, let alone which of these single mothers has the wrench. So I sold my shotgun and made space in my case by selling anything extra and getting an even bigger one. Then I bought a rocket launcher that filled the slot and aggroed all 4 regenerators at once and lured them into the hallway. Then I shot a rocket in the middle of them, killing them all instantly at once. Not the most elegant solution, but 11.5 hours into this cursed ass playthrough, I am innovating to make it easier. Then I go back to save and rebuy the riot gun and get my ammo back, defend off the Granados while I upgrade the keycard and save Ashley. With Ashley saved, I can then make my way towards the end of the game. The Wrecking Ball section will never be played again. You can skip it with the console crouch version of the skip. Once clipped to the gate, you can just call the lift and skip the whole level. There we go. In this small intersection, I made a big play. I sold my handgun, then picked up the 100% static drop heavy grenade. Sell the pistol. We're gonna go back and get that fucking heavy grenade. This allowed me to skip the AA gun in chapter 15, making it much more likely that I can progress. This obviously ruined that slot in my inventory, but having only 2 chapters left, I think it would be fine. This brings me right to the Krauser fight, and it was insanely hard. Basically any attack from him would instantly destroy me. Oh, I missed the thing! God damn it. The sniper would wreck him though, if only I could get a clean headshot. I iframe roll into a mine in the second phase to get him on low HP, then had to hit a sick parry while underground. The timing on this parry is super tight, so most attempts I would just get hit. Then I'd have to limp with 1 HP into the final fight. I died here over and over again, but it was at least great for practice. In the final fight, I bully him by climbing up and jumping down alongside a few parries and a lot of headshots. You take damage on ladders if you get hit while climbing them, but it can't kill you. Because I was already almost dead, this was a really good strategy. It basically gave me iframes. While it sounds simple, it took a few hours for me to be able to beat him. The save station being near the midway point in the fight made it very difficult to do without dying. I had to try over and over again. Let's go! Once I did finally beat him though, there was chapter 15. And this chapter sucks cock, especially for no damage attempts. I would take anything as long as I could get past it. There really isn't much to say here. I used heavy and regular grenades to kill the AA gun and then booked it for the end. With no flash grenades, this was hell. I just used all of my shotgun ammo to push them out of the way and prayed I didn't die. No grab her this time! Fuck you, others! Go! Then when I got to Sadler, I sold all of my weapons to make room and bought a rocket launcher. I killed the boss with it instantly and then waited for Ada to give me the second one on a timer. From there, I rode the jet ski into the sunset and a paradise land where I never have to do this challenge again. So, can you beat Resident Evil 4 Remake without opening the inventory? No. Okay, besides Chapter 2? Yes, you actually can. It's really difficult and by far the hardest part of the challenge is the no healing aspect, but you can. On Pro, you take so much damage and there are so many aggressive enemies. It's really hard to avoid taking damage without it taking 12,000 years. You have a surprising amount of creative freedom and no inventory in this game though. In the original, you were stuck to terrible weapons for the whole time, but because of this weapon wheel thing, you have a lot more freedom. The downside is, this game doesn't have as many exploitable AI gaps or cheeses as the original, making for a much more straightforward playthrough. Either way, it was super fun. Thanks so much for watching and stay stylish.